Well, hello, my friends, and happy Sunday to you. Look at this gorgeous texture, goodness, oh, happiness. So today I am working in my handmade journal, and I am giving it a good coat of matte medium so I can put down some papers. And today I'm not going to cover the whole thing in papers. It was a struggle, I'm not going to lie. I'm just putting down a few. Again, my stepping outside my comfort zone. And it seems like a small thing, but it's very difficult because I just want to cover the whole thing. So now I've just dipped my brush into some gesso while the matte medium's still wet. And those two mediums play very well together. So it just gives it a really nice light feel, and it kind of pushes those papers back. And I am using my new scribble writing stencil, and I'll talk about all the new stencils that are in the shop. I'm so excited about this stencil launch. They're just awesome. But this is my scribble writings, and I'm using a medium body carbon black paint to do all of my stenciling. This is the Scribble Marks stencil 1, 2, or 3, I don't remember. And I've just dipped my finger into some fluid acrylics now because I want it to be really messy. And I'm mixing it in with some black and just kind of playing. And now I've gone back to my heavy body paint to get a crisper, cleaner line on my stenciling. And I'm just going to play. And this is another Scribble Marks stencil. This time I'm using quinacridone magenta and black mixed. Really trying to get a good grungy feel. Now I want to push all of that back, and I'm using my square palette knife and some gesso. And just giving it a good coat. I'm actually using a mix of gesso and modeling paste. And I'm just going to give it a good coat, going back and forth, up and down, to really give it some good texture. I don't want it to be too heavy to push away all of the stenciling that I've done, but just a light coat will do the trick to give it the texture that I'm looking for. And again, on this page, I didn't go crazy, which is really hard for me to do. I'm limiting my colors, limiting where I'm putting my stencils, just really trying to, step out my comfort zone and learn things that are maybe not necessarily where I typically would create from. This, of course, is where I create from. I got some grunge on there and got some raw umber and some glazing medium, and just went to town. And the reason I did that is because all that lovely texture from the papers, from the stenciling, from the gesso and modeling paste, it's just so good. So the glaze really catches in all of those grooves. It gives it a smoother finish than, say, a wash. It gets in the grooves better. I have more control with the glaze, so I can place my paint where I want it better than, say, a wash or a dry brush. Now I'm going back in with some alcohol and my rag and just pulling it back up, and you can see immediately it accentuates all of the texture of the gesso and the modeling paste. So I've got my main image that I'm going to be putting down, that my focal point. So I want to bring back some of that stenciling and have it come from underneath that focal point. So that's why I put my focal point down and then came back to do my additional stenciling. And again, these are the new stencils. And all of the supplies are going to be listed on the blog, and you can check it out there. There will be a link down below in the description box on YouTube. I'm coming back in with my cobalt teal mixed with some black because I really wanted it to be grungied up a bit. Coming in with some green gold. It looks really yellow, and I'm not sure why. So I kind of pulled that back a little bit and then came back with some quinacridone magenta and mixed that in, and it kind of calmed it down a bit. But really trying to stay light-handed, and my fluid, I'm using fluid acrylics by DecoArt, and they're watered down. So it gives me kind of a watercolor effect. So now I'm taking some heavy gel medium from Golden and placing my burlap down so that it will really hold. I need that heavy gel to really grab hold of it and stick it down to my page. And then I went with some fluid matte medium over the top so that it could really soak into it, get into all the grooves and everything, and seal that up. And I went back to the gel medium to put the paper down because it needed it on that surface, on the rough surface of the burlap. And now I've got this grungy clock that I just love, and it's going to be free to you in the resource library, and I talk about that at the end of the video as well. But I was trying to find, okay, do I want it on top, underneath? I finally went with it underneath, and you can barely see it in the finished page, but I know it's there. I know the meaning behind it. It goes with the phrase of the page. So now I'm coming back with some gesso and modeling paste mix, and I'm using a large palette knife, not my square palette knife, so that I can get that trowel effect, so that I have more control and just get that skipping across there. And I really wanted to try and accentuate the burlap with that mixture of gesso and modeling paste, and it turned out wonderful. Love the texture. This is my Messy Flowers stencil that is new in the shop. And funny thing happened, so I stenciled it and I got two of the blooms from the other part of the flower, and I was like, oh shucks, but I made it work, and I actually liked it better. This is number stencil, the new numbers stencil that I know I'm going to be using a ton. Me and numbers, I love them. Now I needed to just kind of get a little bit of that. I wanted to tone down that gesso. It was super bright white. So I grabbed some acrylic ink, F&W Daler and Rowney, in sepia, and just splotched it down in a couple of places, and then watered it down and just kind of let it do its thing, kind of roam around the page a little bit. And then I'll add a few more spots here and there, and just tried to let it dry so that it would, I just love how it looks when it dries. It looks like tea dyed paper. So now I'm putting down my phrase, and I'm using some gel medium because there's a lot of texture on there, and I needed that to hold those pieces down. And I just printed that up on the computer and then cut it out. And we're going to do some shading and some scribbles. And you can see here now I'm making those flowers work. So I hope you can hop over to the subscriber resource library and grab those clocks if you want them and use them in your projects. And if you are not a subscriber, you can do that. That way you get the password and access to the library. And I hope you stick around for the inspiration behind this piece. I had a great story this week that I share with you. And so I'm just doing some scribbling. I'm doing my journaling. I'm writing out what this piece means to me. I'm going to shade around the edges. I'm using my gel pen here to really get some darker lettering in there. But all of this is just my journey this week through this journal page and what it means. So I hope you enjoyed today's project, and if you did, subscribe and like and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I will do my best to get back to you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful Sunday. See you next week. Well, hello, my loves. All right, cut. Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. This is just like my happy spot. I guess every week. I say that every week, don't I? This is my happy spot because it is. I love my job. So this has so much texture, so much yummy, yummy, yummy goodness. Before we get into all this, a couple of things I want to share with you. So, oops, I got some paint on it already. But this clock, so the clock that I have down here, you can barely see it, but it's there, and I know it's there, and it's there for a reason. But these really yummy, grungy goodness clocks are going to be free in the resource library. So get over there and pick them up, and if you're not a subscriber, sign up and you can get free access to the library. Then, okay, so this stencil right here is one of the new stencils. I've got 26 new stencils in the shop. Oh, and they're just so fantastic. And I just want to quickly show you, the scribble marks I know are going to be popular because they're just there. You can use them for everything. And the numbers, me and numbers, you know that. This is the one I used today. I don't know if you can see sometimes it's better. This one I love, this, and I use that one today too, the scribbles. So I use numbers, the scribble marks, the scribble writing, and then the messy flowers. Yes, please. But I'm trying to do this quickly so I don't take up all of your time. But look at that one. It just makes me happy. These are sketched flowers. These are little flowers, and a lot of these I did in kind of resemblance of vintage wallpaper. Because I have a vintage wallpaper that's very similar to this. Then I shrunk down the geo stencils. So this is geo leaves and geo squares. This is crisscross. Daisies. Everyone's been asking me for daisies, and I finally did it. Where's the other daisy one? She's in here somewhere, I hope. Oh man. Oh, there it is. Look at this one. Whoops. Got too many. So many good ones. I'm so excited. Look at how cute that is. This is fancy numbers. This is vintage wallpaper 2. This is vintage wallpaper 1. Look at that. And then this is the both vintage wallpaper shrunk down. This vintage wallpaper duo. This is large roses. Some more daisies. Some more messy flowers. Let me see. That. Mediterranean duo. Mediterranean duo 2. And then stars and hearts. And I know this one's super simple, but I'm excited to use this. I want to use the stars and hearts in some fun ways. So, alright, so those are the new stencils, and I just wanted to show those to you. They're available in the shop today. Check them out. Get the ones that I used today, and all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's get to this. So I just had so much fun. The texture on here is just amazing. I love it. I just love it. So this says trust the timing of your life. And So this week I was reading, I don't know if it was a blog post or something on social media, and there's a gal that I follow, and she was talking about how she was so glad that that her 20-something-year-old self decided to take the leap way back then, to make her own business and do her thing, and that she was just grateful that she had done that back then. And I was like, how awesome for her, and for knowing what she wanted and all of those kinds of things. And then I kind of went to this place where I was like, man, I wish I would have done that. I wished I wished I would have place in my brain that no one should ever go to. And I started thinking, I'm like, no, I don't wish that, because everything has happened for a reason, and I don't know that I would have been ready then, and I don't know that life was right. And life sometimes just doesn't go like you planned. It just doesn't. That's the reality. And at 20 something, I had 3 babies. It was crazy time for me, and I was in a marriage that wasn't great, and for me to start a business would have just been, I don't know, I just don't think I could have done it mentally, physically. I don't know. I mean, if I decide to do something, I'm gonna do it, but I just don't think I was ready, and it wasn't the right time. I had these kids that needed this family and needed stability, and so when I needed to get a job to provide insurance and all of those things. And so I stopped that. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have started sooner, because my journey into art has always been there. I've always kept that little dream alive, and somewhere in my everyday world of taking care of babies and working and all those kinds of things, I still hung on to that dream, and I knew that when the time presented itself, I was going to jump. And so for this today, I just want to encourage you that don't compare your journey to anybody else's. It is yours, and it doesn't look like anybody else's. And I don't want you to say, I should have, I wish I could have, those kinds of things, because maybe the timing is just not right. Maybe you got to take care of your family. Maybe you got to pay insurance or the bills or whatever it is. Or maybe you got to take some classes to get to where you want to be, or whatever it is. Maybe right now is time to take care of your kids, or to take care of an elderly parent, or I don't know. There's so many circumstances in our lives that provide this timing that's just not right for taking the leap into that great unknown of our dreams. And I want to say that wait for the right timing, because the timing is perfect. Your timing is perfect. And I also want to say, but don't get stuck in, well, it's just not right. Well, I needed this, or well, don't get stuck there either. Be very aware of your dreams and where you are and the timing of your life. And then when it is right, jump. Jump fast, jump hard, and go all in. And I did not start my business until I was 47. Yep, 47. And I was still working all night to build my business, to build my, to practice, to all of those things, to learn how to shoot a video. I worked long hours for another year, and then I quit my job. And then I had to go back to work because it didn't go the way that it planned. And I still had bills to pay. So I went back to work part-time and was doing... So I'm just saying that everybody's journey looks different. And yours is yours alone. And make it work for your life, for your timing, for what's right for you right now. And if it's dabbling on the side for doing something or taking one class, take one small step. It doesn't have to compromise your whole world. And then when the time is right, go for it. Don't wait. It's your life. You get to choose how it goes. And then don't get stuck in that trap of, well, it's just not right now. Sometimes the time is never right, and you just have to do it. All right, my loves, I hope your Sunday is awesome and filled with love and laughter, and I hope you are able to recognize where you are in your journey, in your plan, in that space of really going after your dreams and your goals. And I hope that you always, always know that you are loved.